Alright, today we are mixing it up a little bit and doing what I think is one of the most beautiful video game pieces of music ever by the immortal Koji Kondo from the Legend of Zelda series, and it's called Song of Storms, and it sounds a little bit like this. So we're going to do this a couple different ways, and that's the fingerstyle way, which I will link a tab to below. And we're also going to do it in kind of a scale way to kind of talk a little bit more about scale degrees. But right now, I want to do a fingerstyle thing where we're incorporating a bass note into the melody that we're playing. And we're going to do this with the help of drop D. So take your low E string and tune it down to a D. And the reason we're going to do this is because we're going to have this bass line that accompanies the melody. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go just like this. We're going to have open D, hammer on the 3rd fret, and then go to the 3rd fret of the B string, which is another D. So we have a D, it's minor 3rd, and then an octave. But what we're going to do is we're going to hit the low E string, which is now a D, and we're going to have that with the first note. So we have kind of a low D and a middle D, like at the same time, hammer on. We're going to repeat that, but now we're going to drop your middle finger to the 2nd fret of the low E string. Okay, so. And then now we're going to continue the ascension up the lowest string by hitting the 3rd fret of the low E string and the high E string at the same time. And then that 1st fret, we're going to get kind of like a hammer-on pull-off thing. 1, open 1. And then we're going to come back. We're going to start descending the low E string, right? So after this, and then after we get the 2nd fret of the low E string and the high E string, we're going to come down 1B, 2G. And you can do that just like that. It's almost kind of like we're making a different chord shape, right? So far we've got. And that's the thing about fingerstyle guitar, if you've never really played in this way where you're kind of keeping a rhythm with the lower strings and the melody on top, the best way to do it is to kind of try to combine them into almost different chord shapes that you can play at the same time with your fingers, right? Then after that, we're going to do this right here, the 1st fret of the A string and the 2nd fret of the G string. And if you know, this is coming from a major 7 chord voicing. So if we have this root note, this A sharp, B flat, and we go through the major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's actually Lydian, but right there's our major 7. So root note and its major 7 is going to be the next kind of chord that we play this. So we have that root and it's 7, open D, 3D, open G, and then we get 2G and 3E at the same time. We do that again, but instead of ending on this chord, we're going to end on an A power chord, open A, 2D. Again, get that tab if you want to play it this way because it's cool to follow along when you kind of see it visually, right? So basically what is going on in this song, and this is really a great example of how you can use the intervals of the minor scale to create like a really beautiful melody, which the immortal Koji Kondo is amazing at doing. If you don't know who he is, he's done a lot of Nintendo's music, and you should check him out because his catalog is pretty impressive. So we're actually going to take it from this D minor chord right here. And again, that was just a fingerstyle guitar arrangement that I've seen people play. But what might be closer to the video game style is the. Which these are just minor chords, a D minor chord, and I'm getting the A, D chord, up a step to E minor, same thing, up a half step to a major 7 chord voicing, F major 7. But the intervals that I want to talk about are going to be right here on D's minor scale. So again, this is why scales and scale intervals are really important, and we're going to see how you can kind of compose things just using the numbers. So if we take the minor scale, which would be 5A, 7A, 8A, same thing down a string, 5D, 7D, 8D, same thing down another string, 5G, 7G, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7. Now if we number these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we can start talking about them in numbers. And the beginning of the melody is a 1, 5, 8. Otherwise known as kind of like a power chord, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 5, 8. 1, 5, 8. So we can continue the scale by taking the next two notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is really 1 again. So the second note in D would be E, would be here, and the third note is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Or we can just kind of continue counting. It doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right? Now we're going to start adding the 9th and 10th notes into that melody. So now you have 1, 5, 8, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, 7, 5. Okay, so it's a really, I think it's a great thing to think about because it's so much easier to remember melodies and play by ear once you start thinking in numbers of a scale. 1, 5, 8, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, 7, 5. Then after that, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, 5, 1, 3, 4, 2. Okay, so really that's where that melody comes from. It's just kind of these intervals within the D minor scale. And then playing it with the accompanying bass notes sounds really cool. We're doing the exact same notes. But when you do it in a scale position, I think the intervals make a little bit more sense. It's just easier to see, in my opinion. But yeah, really practice it both ways because it's, I think, one of the most beautiful pieces of music ever. Even though it is so short that if you ever listen to it, like if you stream one of the things, it's just kind of repetitive because it happens over and over again. But really, beautiful song, great game. All the Zelda games are really cool. And yeah, I'm definitely thinking I might do some more video game or movie theme deconstructions. So if you have any requests, please hit me up because I think those shorter melody lines are great examples of kind of how to use scales and intervals in general. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.